This
But
always
with
happens.
laughter, always.
I love it so
Welcome
much.
back to Honestea Talks. I'm Ranjitha Singh, aka Dr. Ronnie.
And I am Ashley Peña, known everywhere as Peña Pequeña. My name is Ashley. My first name is Ashley.
Even I've said that before.
Yes, so many people. Oh my god. Ashley.
Oh
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Okay, so we were already laughing because I didn't know that pine trees grew in Florida.
Yes, and if you're from Florida, you're probably laughing too because they're everywhere here. There's so many, and the reason she brought that up because I said Pembroke Pines, so she was like,
Yeah.
every time you say Pembroke Pines, I think of the pine trees, and I'm like, yeah, we do have pine trees everywhere. Oh my gosh!
But I will say my reason is because I have not been to Florida.
Oh
yes, and so today's topic is setting intentions for the upcoming year. And so I was like, one of my intentions is to visit Ashley in Florida in 2021.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you would love it. And I definitely need to be in California. I miss it so much. It's so hard. Yeah, it makes me want to cry. I love it. I definitely need to live or have a home in California because I can't.
Well, you always have a home here, even though it's shared right now.
It's okay. I don't mind. I love it. I really being away. Honestly, has really. I don't know. We'll talk about it some other time probably, but yeah. I love California. It's just very different.
It's funny though, because so many people are leaving California.
Really?
Yeah, considering like everything that's going on in the world and in our country and the state itself, the way some of the rules and restrictions are causing a lot of people to. And cost of living. I mean, you've lived in the Bay Area with me. We know that it's really expensive. So
expensive.
The drive up in costs, the restrictions on being able to run your business, like things like that are driving people out of the state.
Of course.
Where they can afford more for their money.
Yeah, I really hope that changes. That's a huge reason why I always like outweigh that, right? It's really expensive. Like it is beautiful, don't get me wrong. Like it was worth it when I was there, but it is very, very expensive.
And it's the beautiful places that, I mean, everywhere, there's so much for everything in California, right? You want mountains, you got mountains. You want ocean, you got ocean. You want cold, you've got cold. You want warm, you've got warm. But like, there's a price to pay depending on which one of those things you want.
Yeah, and it is very unreasonable too, right?
Yeah.
Like the price is crazy. Like it really is expensive, but I love it. Hopefully it changes. And even the people that I know from there, you know, that have families and stuff, they've stressed a lot because it's just very, very even before all of this happened, it was really difficult for them to put a roof over their head. So hopefully that gets better one day.
I hope so. Okay, so what is one of your intentions? I said one of mine.
Okay, so one of mine, I have a few, but one of my main ones is to finish my book. I've been writing a book. Yeah, and I'm so excited. It's almost done. Like it really is something that I can like physically see. It's not like I'm super. I know, I'm so excited.
Because you've been working on this for a while. Like if we think about it, the content of it has been building up.
Definitely. I love that you said that because that's exactly what it feels like. Like, and that's also why I can't rush it. You know, like I feel like because, you know, when you're creating anything, really, like you're putting so much of you and what you've learned and everything that you've taken in. So it takes a lot of like continuous growth and also like taking it out of you, like taking these stories, these journeys, and these like experiences and lessons out of you. Which is really, really cool and rewarding and exciting, but it takes time. So I'm hoping that it'll be done by like the middle of the year next year. Nice. So yeah, I'm so
excited. It's one of those things, like you said, it's part of the creative process, and you know that creativity comes from something greater than you and uses you as the channel and the vessel to create it. So you can't rush that. You have to let it just divinely come through and out. And it'll come out when the world is ready to receive it.
Yes. Oh, you're absolutely right. And I think that that's why this talk is so important too, right? Because I think there are a lot of things that we can work on a daily basis, but when it comes to like working on ourselves and healing and creating certain things, you should have a plan, but at the same time you should flow with it too. You don't want to be so like concrete that you're writing just because you have to.
Exactly.
Like, I hate that feeling. I hate like, oh, I have to finish this, so let me write. Like, no, I love when I can't get off of my laptop because I'm writing, you know, or that is flow. That divine flow that you were talking about is exactly what you want anything that you're creating to feel like.
Yeah. I know people are always like, why haven't you written a book yet? And I'm like, it hasn't come through yet.
Yeah.
For me, I haven't felt it. So it's like,
for sure,
I know it'll happen.
Definitely.
But when, I don't know. Like, I just haven't felt it yet.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and that's beautiful, right? Because that means when you do, or even when you know, through your meditation and through everything that you do, if you ever feel like I need to write, or even start putting together what you've already written, right? Because a lot of this book came from something that I wrote years ago, and then I've like elaborated on it. So it's like one day you're gonna feel that, and that's gonna be super powerful because.
Oh, you froze. Can you hear me? I'm not going to panic like the last time. Can you hear me? Ashley?
Supposed to happen versus.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny though. Do you see me?
Yeah, now I do, and I hear you.
It was so crazy. I want to see you.
Oh no, you feel like this.
No, you froze now. Okay, I see you.
Oh no. Okay, you're still frozen. Yeah, like, okay. That screen went away. It's like you move and then you freeze. And then you move and then you freeze.
I'm gonna try to say so. This is so funny. I cannot
I hear
wait to
you though.
see it.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I'm still frozen?
No.
Oh, good.
Just try not to move.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to move from this section.
I wanted to panic again too.
You know what's funny is that even though you didn't panic, I heard you say, "Oh no," but then it froze on my end and it went no, like a robot.
Oh my god, that's creepy.
That was so creepy. I hope it came out in the playback
so that we can hear it. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we won't know till we watch it.
Oh my god, that was funny.
These are the reasons I love going live versus like recording, because we would, like, if we were recording, we would pause it, figure it out, and then edit, you know, and going live just makes it that much more fun and realistic. And like, that's it. This is real life. Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
This is real life.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. It happens, right? Like, oh no, you froze. You froze now.
Oh, I did?
Well, it's not like you froze, but there's just a black screen. Having trouble connecting. This is often caused by an unstable internet connection. Oh.
I see you fine on my end. I see me fine on my end.
Oh.
Uh-oh. You froze again.
Can you hear me and see me?
Thank you for bearing with us in our technical. I can hear you now, and I was seeing you the whole time.
You completely froze, and then I couldn't even see me.
Oh.
It gave me a message too of connection, so I went.
I could hear you reading it.
I read it out loud. I did. Oh my god!
I really hope that internets around the world, interwebs,
the inters of web,
that word, around the world. I hope their resolutions and intentions are that these glitches don't happen anymore.
I agree. I second that. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope that in 2021, our signal, for every single one of these talks, is A1. It's perfect.
Yes. Yes. Problems.
Exact. Oh my God. Seriously. So serious. Wow. We're so blessed. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Do you
so
have
what
another one?
is I was just gonna ask you that. um okay, so I think being that you and I are so mind, body, soul
Mm-hmm.
oriented, where do you think your book falls in the mind, body, soul aspect of intention setting? Is it in the mind? Is it the body? Is it the soul? You physically writing your book.
Um, hmm. I mean, it's definitely a combination of all of it, just because it takes me physically having to do it, but I can't do it without the soul. But I would say it's more so soul, because it's very fulfilling when I feel that connection and that like flowing.
Yeah.
Uh, it's very much just a creative flow and not something that I force.
Yeah.
So I definitely would see it more as that. But it is also like a physical goal that I want to accomplish. So I would say that it's between like a physical manifestation that I want to see come to life, but more so only able to be done through the spirit, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. So do you
For
have
me,
Go
yes,
ahead, go ahead.
yes.
That's what I was gonna
For
ask you.
me, I do have a body oriented one
Cool.
that I want my intention for this year to be, which I kind of started yesterday,
Awesome.
before the year starts. But my intention is to try to move daily. I haven't been doing that. I kind of fell off during quarantine,
So
and I was going through old pictures in my phone from
hmm
New Year's 2017. I
oh
had
wow.
started on Snapchat. I was doing like a 365 fit thing. Yeah, where I was doing at least, you froze again like this.
Remember that? Oh, I'm not gonna move. I got so excited. I remember that. Oh
Yeah,
my
so like
gosh.
a minimum, at least a minimum of 10 minutes a day, whether it's
Mhm.
yoga, whatever, stretching, just something. And of course, being more conscious of like the foods I'm putting in my body.
Definitely.
Because yeah, quarantine, got me in my feels, and then I went to some old habits when it came to like the eating um and lack of movement. So
That's great. That's a
yeah,
really good one. And I think one that's really important. And
yeah,
I love that you're talking about it in a very positive way and not in a way that's like that it revolves around self-shame or like feeling guilty about it. It's
oh
like
yeah,
you're aware of what happened and where those shifts happened and what you kind of let go of or stopped doing or started
yeah,
doing, and your intention is to move forward by changing that. And I
yeah.
love that. I think
And
that
I asked a friend to hold me accountable. I asked Janelle to hold me accountable
yes.
because I back then it was easy for me. I was so in my body at that time, like working out and doing things that it was so easy for me to do it then.
Yeah.
But I realized like when it comes to the physical aspect of me, like I need that help. I no longer hold myself accountable in that way. So I just like I asked her, I was like, can you just ask me every day if I moved? That's all I need.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love that you brought that up because a lot of people it's really important for people to know that it's okay to reach out for
Oh yeah.
accountability, and we need that. As human beings, we sometimes need someone in whatever aspect we may need it. Maybe it's not
Yeah.
movement, but it's meditation. Maybe it's just, being off the phone. Whatever it is, sometimes we need an accountability partner that's going to say,
Oh,
"Hey, did you drink water
yes.
today? Hey, did you move today?"
Hmm.
And it really does shift everything because we have
Yeah.
someone reminding us like, "Hey, don't forget that you told me to do this because it matters to you." So I
Yes.
love that. I love
Yes.
that.
And asking,
Yay.
knowing that I think there comes a point where it's like, you need the help. So,
Yeah.
and this is something that's good for you. So you have to
Mm.
like create that team that's going to help you be a better you,
Yes. Oh my
you know?
gosh. That's so powerful. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that in itself can be an intention, right? Like I feel like you don't have to do anything alone, especially if you have great people around you. Don't do anything
Yeah.
alone. Like
Yeah.
you ultimately have to hold yourself accountable and you have to do these
Exactly.
things, right? You have to physically be the one to move. But if you have people around you, maybe they also need help with accountability.
Yeah.
So you guys can be each other's accountability for opposite things or the
Hmm.
same thing. I think that when we do that, it really is exciting too, because it's not just us trying to motivate ourselves. It's like someone reminding us that we can do it and that we should continue doing it. And if we
Yeah.
forget, that we're being reminded, like an alarm clock, but it's a physical human being that matters to us.
Well, and they also believe in you and your ability to do it too. So
Yes,
that also helps.
definitely. Oh,
What
I
about
love
you?
that. So for me, I have it's really cool because yesterday I was singing in the shower, right? And I was hitting like a high note, and I was so happy about that. I was like, my voice is back, baby. I was like singing so loud. And then I was like, okay, well, let's not lose it again. So I stopped singing. But that really like allowed me to realize how far along my healing is, and I feel so great. Like I don't nearly have like mucus buildup like I did. I don't know. I just feel amazing and my throat feels
Yeah.
amazing. But I have still so many things that I foresee for my body and for my physical health. So I want to maintain my physical health when it
Yeah.
comes to that, like with, like how my throat feels, how my body feels, how I feel during menstruation, because that's something that I've
Yeah.
really also been working on this year that I want to focus way more on next year, as far as like eating intentionally for that, like
Yeah.
to reduce pain and to have just a smoother experience, right? Like I
Yeah.
know that this is something that happens, but I know that I can make it better through intentionally like eating foods that specifically aid that
Yeah.
part of my life and my experience, right? So that's something that I really want to focus on when it comes to like my physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been doing yoga more consistently now, and I've always wanted to do a hand. I don't know if you remember me
Yes.
practicing
Yes.
handstands.
In the hallway against the wall. Yes.
And I like still can't do it. I get so scared. But I want to do it. Like I want to be able to say next year that I could freaking do a handstand and
Yes.
like initiate it without being afraid. That's
Yeah.
definitely something that I want to come, because I can work on all the other poses and it's fun, and it's like not easy, but it's familiar to me, so I can do it.
Yeah.
But handstands and headstands, they freaking mortify me, and I don't want that to be anymore next year. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. So would you also consider that a fear you want to face?
Yeah.
Since you
Oh
said it
yeah.
mortifies you to, yeah.
Yes. Yes. And you know what else? Which we remember we longboarded together.
Oh
We did
yeah.
longboard. Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't do that again for a while because I was so
Oh,
scared again to do it.
you were
I was
so
like,
good and confident in San Diego.
I know, but since it was so long, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't like
Oh.
literally. It was there. I would see it every day and be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I recently got back on. I got back on
Oh,
it and I
good.
could do it again and I feel good. But it's still something like I want to go fast on it. I don't want
Yeah,
to be like
yeah.
doing little baby movements.
I don't
So
think
that's
I've
another
gone
one.
on one since we moved from San Diego.
Oh
Because
my
I don't
gosh.
have one, but that would be cool.
Yes.
Because that was fun.
It was, right?
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
It
But
was
like,
cool.
I'm still only just used to that smooth driveway, the pavement we had at the apartment.
We had it so made. Like that was
Yes,
so easy.
yes,
So it's like what I think that's what's scary too, and I think why it's cool to like next year. I think we definitely both have intentions to do more of those things that are like new and scary.
yes, yes.
Because even when you then switch from like, okay, now you're not in a smooth terrain, now you're in a cemented but like gravel. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
Gravel is that like rocky one. It's
yeah,
scary then again, even though you know how to do it on a
yeah,
smooth ground. So,
yes.
oh, that's
It's the unknown. The unknown is always the scary part. You know what
it
I've
is.
learned though? This is going to be a reflective moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the things that I learned about myself in the past year is I'm a resilient mofo. I know that I could literally just start up anywhere from
Yes.
the bottom and just work my way up. Like everywhere I've gone since I didn't get residency, like I've literally just started from up from the bottom and just worked my way up. So
Absolutely.
I realized that about myself. And I can honestly say the same for you because of your journey to the Bay Area and then having to go back to my, you know, like it
Yes.
literally, it just is a testament of, even though the unknown is kind of scary, the unknown is something you know you can get through.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the difference, right? Like, I think it's not about it not being scary or exciting or like, you know, your heart, it's not that your heart doesn't race and freaking
Yeah.
want to fly out of your chest. It's just that you do it, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you're aware that it's freaking scary because it's new, but you do it anyway because you
Yeah.
know you can do it. You know that you're going to be fine. And you
Yes.
know that, like, even if you fall, that you're gonna be fine. You know
Yeah.
how many times I've fallen. I don't even like the word fail, but like, I've failed multiple times. I'm not done or even near finished. I'm never gonna not fail. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fall and fall and fall and fall and be back at zero, and that's a blessing. Now I see that as like, okay, now I'm here and I can rebuild something even more magical, something even more
Yeah.
beautiful than what I had before. And you're a living example of that, living proof of that, and so am I. And that's the key. It's like, you master these things that you're afraid of,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
What do you want to do next year that's maybe scary or unknown that you haven't done? Like, is there anything for you that you would like to intentionally do next year?
I mean, this is real vulnerable moment, but like, ooh, I think I'm gonna cry.
Cry, cry, let it out. We love vulnerable moments.
One of the things that I realized this year that I've been afraid of is my comfort zone has been my singleness. So I would like to experience a relationship, but also like um carrying a child and
Oh,
seeing what my body does like through that. So like it's scary. Like I had a moment where I was like thinking about it and like I freaked out, but I'm like, that's probably one of the reasons I pushed it off for so long too, like subconsciously, is like these fears we have towards it. And I
absolutely.
realized like I focused so much of my life on trying to build a career and trying to build something for myself, and knowing that I can do it at any point in time means it's time for me to face that. Like, yeah. So
Yeah, that's beautiful. I have chills. Oh, thank you for sharing
whether
that.
it happens or not, I don't know, but that's my intention going into.
Well, I mean, that in itself, I think that it's really great that you've been able to say that, right? That this, it's my intention to be in a relationship. That's very different than like, oh yeah, I can be in a relationship, or you know, if it comes when you're like, no, I'm setting an intention because I want to be in a partnership. That's a huge shift, and that's very, very powerful. And I know that everything will line up for you as it's meant to. And I'm so
I've never even
excited.
said that like
I
out
know.
loud.
I know. That was beautiful. That was very powerful.
Oh.
And you know, so many of the things that you mentioned are things that we're taught, and it is very difficult to break free from that fear, to break free from like so many limiting beliefs that are revolve around relationships,
Yeah.
marriage, and having children, like having a family. There's so much, especially with like wanting to be prepared and wanting to have all these things and wanting to be in this perfect situation where that doesn't exist, you know, like
Well,
if you
plus I
want
think
it.
past it was more of like, this is what gets placed on us, especially as
Yeah.
women, and it never sat right with me in that way. And
Yeah.
so I think that was another reason that I was like, no, no, I don't want it. Stay away. But
Yeah.
like, I'm finally at a place where I'm at that place now where I want it. And
I love
because
that.
I want it, not because other people want it for me, you know?
Yes.
Like I think that's the difference now too.
Oh, yes. I've literally never heard you say it so clear and with conviction. Like, I want it, and this is what I want. And I love that. I love that you're there, and I love that you're expressing that and sharing that. And I'm sure you've done that within your own solitude and your own privacy, but I'm so glad that you shared that because that's very beautiful and powerful that you are stating that and putting that into the universe, because that is what an intention is. You put it out
Yeah.
there and then you let it come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
literally squeezing my own hand right now because I'm just like, that's how like scary that was.
yes. And
Oh my gosh.
oh, I love that you did it anyway. I love that. That was scary. That is. And the
Oh
whole
yeah.
journey, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
even when you do say being vulnerable in itself is scary, but it's so beautiful and it's so important. And at the same time, embarking on a journey of what you just explained is scary, right?
Mhm.
Even the idea of it could be so overwhelming. But when you choose to do something and you're saying, I want this, whatever it is that might be, then you're able to receive it and be open to it. Because I
Yeah.
think sometimes when we're afraid still, even if we do want it deep down inside, subconsciously we're like repelling it because we are still afraid,
Yeah.
but to the point where it's crippling us and not allowing us to experience it, versus being like afraid and like, oh, that was scary, but doing it anyway and saying no, but even though this is scary, I invite it and I want
Yeah.
it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's physical fears and then there's literally mental and emotional fears. And
Oh,
that was the mental emotional one, you know.
yes. Oh my goodness.
What
Yes.
about you?
No, no, let's see. So it's interesting for me because a huge part of what I want when it comes to like even what I want right now, even though I know it's not supposed to happen right now, for me it's really just like I want to be like in an environment which I've been around before, right? Like I've obviously been around people like you and like a Max Fit and all of that. But I
Yeah.
want to consistently be in an environment, not just like staying there temporarily. Like I feel like when I went to California, I didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't go over there thinking like I'm going to stay here forever. I just went as like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So let's just go here
Let's
and
figure it out.
enjoy. Exactly, and enjoy it and learn and grow, and I did exactly that. But
Yeah.
it wasn't really like let me go here to settle down. And then when I came back here, it wasn't that either too. It was just
Mm.
like let me go and see what comes next.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful for that and so grateful for those experiences, but I just want to be somewhere for a while, like for the first time I'm like not desiring to constantly move to a million different places. Like
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
I've definitely hopped from one place to another just to kind of grow and follow where I was supposed to be for that exact time.
Do you think it's you want to like plant your roots somewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's a huge, I don't know where. I
Okay.
have hunches like of what I
Okay.
based on what I want and what aligns with me. And but I'm also very open to like whatever the universe guides me to do and God
Yeah.
guides me to do. But at the same time, like I know what I want and I'm being very intentional when it comes to like what I want for like my near future and based on who I am and who I've allowed myself to be like authentically and fully
Yeah.
and what I expect my environment to be like, but also for my future, like
Yeah.
I want to be able to like, okay, this is my home because I love it here and
Yeah.
I love it in California. I've been to so many places that I'm like, okay, but what is like where my home is
Yeah.
in the physical sense of like where do I want to really plant my roots
Yeah.
and like raise a family if that's what I choose to do in the future.
Yeah. Which I know, knowing you and knowing like when your mind is like ready to write that down, like you're
Yeah.
gonna do it and it's gonna happen.
Oh my
Like
God, yes.
I've seen it happen with you so many times.
For sure, for sure. Oh, my phone got excited. Definitely, and I'm excited. I'm not like rushing it or anything, but I think that it's about intention, right? Like, okay, now that's definitely what I want to focus my energy on,
Yeah.
and I know it will manifest
Oh,
exactly as
totally.
it's supposed to.
Totally. Do you have a little inkling in your heart? Like for me, I think I've always had that little inkling that I would be back in Sacramento and in California. Like,
Yeah,
even going to Aruba for medical school, like I always somehow had this feeling that I would be back in California.
of course.
Have you had any of those kinds of moments? Like when you've seen pictures or even if you've been in
Oh,
Miami, like,
it's hard because I always have like a big dream first, right? Like
yeah.
my best case scenario is that I have a house everywhere in the world.
I mean,
But
same.
right? Like we don't want that.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time, when I'm honest with myself and when I'm really like real with what has made me happy and what little things I like as far as environment goes and as far as like nature and all of that and what I really like based on where I have been,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to imagine a life that's not in California. You know, like
Yeah.
it's weird because I love it so much. You know, like that's definitely, if I had right now, if someone was like, hey, we have a house for you set up here, I would be like, bye everybody. Like I don't have to pay for it, I'm there, you know.
Yeah.
So if that's how it were to be and if everything were to line up perfectly, that would definitely be, when I'm being honest with myself,
Yeah.
not about like, you know, family and everything like that, then that's, I just love it. I love it over there.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
hard for me to be so far away from there in a different way than it is when I'm over there far from here, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Well, you've
I haven't.
experienced that already, right? You've experienced being there, well, which is here in California, away from
Exactly.
your family,
Yeah.
and how hard it was. Like
Yeah.
that's all the way across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so now being back there
It's
where you
also
grew
very
up,
hard.
yeah,
It's
that
hard.
is
It's, oh,
you're in a great place in life, I think. Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
because it really can go in whatever direction you want it to go.
Yeah. And that's really where I feel like I'm at because I don't know, right? Like there's a lot of, even with a lot of people this year and with everything that has happened, there's a lot of unknown. There's a
Yeah.
lot of like,
Yeah.
you know, people like what? But it's a great space to then be intentional about
Yeah.
what you do want as
Yeah.
far as everything goes, like environment, physical, emotional, and spiritual. When I say environment, it's not only like physically
Yeah.
what you see, right? But where you're around, who you're around, what kind of energy you're
Exactly.
around, what kind of
Exactly.
habits you're around. So all of that really does matter, and you get to create that in these
Yeah.
moments where you're kind of like, I don't know, or you know, a kind of unsure, or there's like only the unknown ahead that
Yeah.
really allows you to create. And so I'm definitely in a space where now I'm seeing what it's, through being here, it has allowed me to feel far away from another home that I had over
Yeah.
there. So now
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot
Yeah.
to think about and a lot to just really be honest with myself about. And if that's another place, there's so many places I haven't
Oh,
been
yeah.
to
Oh, totally.
also,
Yeah.
right?
There's so
So,
many more places that Ashley can bring her magic to,
oh my God.
you know?
Exactly. So
Like,
who
even
knows?
what you did in California, you attracted all those things, right? Like, we used to talk
It's so
about that. Like,
insane.
the people we met, the people we worked with, like, the lessons we've learned, you know? Like, it was all it was law of attraction, right?
It really was. It was like really seeing that happen around, like even meeting, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that was so powerful. And it really is, it's cool to see that that happens where you're meant to go. And so even when it doesn't happen, it really happens to teach you so many things. Even like
Yeah.
San Diego was very, very powerful in what we learned and what we were able to really say, like, okay, you know what, I need to be here right now, or I need to
Yeah.
focus on this and let some things go. I think everything in our lives is, it's just divinely orchestrated, even when it's difficult, even when
Oh,
you're like, what the heck is happening?
yeah.
And it's so that we can create intentions and really
Yeah.
focus on what it is that we want for ourselves without the fear tied into it, without the like limiting beliefs tied into it. Now I feel like even you, everyone, a lot of people are in a space where they can say, you know what, like I don't want to bring this into next year, and I want to have this specifically. And it's not really about physical things, but about what you want to feel, what you want to experience, and where you want to be
And
next
the
year.
company you wanna carry moving into it. Like,
Ugh.
I think one of my fears moving back to Sacramento was going back into complacency, going back to who I was however many years ago when I actually was living here. And
Yeah.
what this past year has shown me is, like we were talking about who we've attracted in the Bay Area and even in San Diego, like I did that here when I moved back, you know, like
Yes.
the work, the studio even that I train at now, like
Mm-hmm.
all of that was presented to me, and it was just, it solidified, and even the new people that crossed my path, you know, and
Yes.
accepted this new version of me,
Mhm.
And it just was confirmation that like, okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. So
Definitely.
if something brought me back here to now like plant those roots again, then I have to face those next fears of the thing that you're saying, like the settling, creating that
Yeah,
environment, right? And
exactly.
and I feel that very strongly here, especially in this house, like
Ooh,
that, yeah, that of
yes.
what's to come.
I love that. It's so
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah,
Yes. It really is powerful. And
yeah,
it's cool that I remember when you sent me a picture of like you writing down that you wanted to be in Sacramento or that you had foreseen yourself in Sacramento.
yeah,
I'm like, that's so crazy, you know, like
yeah.
that you even felt that before. And what's cool about that is that you're never limited to your environment, but you're
Oh,
always like you know that you're exactly where you're meant to be.
yeah.
And if you're ever guided to go somewhere else, that you'd be fine
Oh,
too,
yeah.
that you'd
Yeah,
be like that everything would happen the same way it happened where you are right now.
exactly, exactly.
Oh, I find that
'Cause,
so
I mean,
fascinating.
ideally, I would love to have a house on the beach in, like, Mexico
Right.
or some island.
I know. I think that's
One
the
of my
hard
dream
part.
goals.
Yeah. There's so many things that you could have
Oh,
in
yeah.
this world, right?
Yes.
Like, how do you choose one? You could have a lake house, a cabin, a beach house.
Yes, yes.
Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah.
but it
I
will all
definitely miss the
unfold.
ocean. I miss the
I
ocean.
know.
And
That's the
you're
only
so
thing.
close to it.
I know. You know, it's crazy because the cool thing, right, is I think that no matter where you go, because even you're in Sacramento, and I'm sure you've enjoyed Sacramento to its fullest, and just being home and what that means. But oh, this is happening. Sorry, guys. But it's cool. It's cool to be able to enjoy like wherever you are and the different things that each place has, right? Because
Yeah,
in California the
yeah.
water was so cold. I was
Oh,
never
yeah.
I was at the beach, but never to like get in the water and swim like here,
Yeah,
to where it's like now I'm always in nature here
yeah,
in this type of nature, you know?
yeah.
So it's cool that you have that option, you know, like different kind of places that you can go to. But
I mean, we could
Sacramento,
go get snow right now if we wanted, like 2 hours east.
I was just gonna ask you that. I was just gonna ask you that. I'm like, in Sacramento, you can go to the snow, right? You're like
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Oh, I wish. That's so cool. That's freaking amazing. We're
Yeah,
like
it really
literally
is.
opposite.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
We could trade places for a week if you want.
That would be so cool. You know what? Now that you say that, the first roommates that I had, right? Since you know how they basically adopted me
Oh,
into
yeah,
their
yeah.
home, they were like, you know, why don't you come here and then we go to Miami, right?
Yeah.
And then we even talked about like joking around, like we should make a show where you trade places, like you know, like some people
Wipe
from another.
swap, like the show Wipe Swap.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Oh
Except
my
we just
god.
swap spaces, you know.
Yeah. Sibling
And that's
swap
so
or something.
cool. Yeah, I think that's so important. It's cool because then you get to see like, what if you come to
Different part.
Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you come to Miami and you're like, this is it? You know, like I love this, even though I don't think that'll happen. But you know, like maybe I don't know. There,
Yeah.
or you go to Puerto Rico or anywhere. There's
Oh,
so many different
I wouldn't come back
places.
from Puerto Rico.
I believe that.
I would
I
find a
believe
hut
that.
on the beach and just live there forever.
I believe that. Oh my gosh, you would absolutely love it.
That's
Okay, so
yes.
sorry, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
you go.
I was gonna say, so where do you want to travel if when and if all of this gets better, where would you like to travel next year?
Okay,
Like your
well,
go-tos.
okay, Hawaii is already booked, so we'll
Awesome.
see what happens because that's February.
Okay.
Um, I'm going on what to Mexico with you and your mom.
Yes, we're supposed to
Yes,
go in May.
yes, we're going in May. I'm not
Yes.
even saying supposed to or planned
For
it. We're
real, we're
going
going.
in
It's
May.
happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. Yes.
Um, and I've never been to Mexico,
Oh,
so
that's right.
yeah, so that's definitely I bucket list item.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so for next year, that's really all I have on
Nice.
the forefront.
Awesome.
But you know me, I love to travel, so like I'll go anywhere and
I
everywhere.
know.
I really would love to go back to Chicago and Aruba because it's
Nice.
literally 10 for Aruba, it's been 10 years now.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah,
my
like
gosh.
I moved there 10 years ago in August.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
I want to
crazy.
go back there and see like what it looks like.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's always cool when you go with that much time in
Yeah.
between because it is going to look different.
Yes. Well, it's
So
funny because
cool.
it popped up on a Facebook memory
Cool.
um, a couple weeks ago when
Nice.
we were leaving the island. So it was literally like it for 2020 it would have been 9 years, but for 2021
Wow.
it'll be 10 years. And on the thing I wrote like um see you in 10 years, Aruba. Like,
What?
yeah. So like next year, if I could get to Aruba, I would love to do that.
That's
That's
so
definitely
cool.
intention.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It's gonna happen if you wrote it like that. See you in 10 years. You're
Right?
gonna be
Yeah,
there.
because you're the one that tweeted you're gonna move to California like
Oh
a few
my
years
god.
before, right?
Yes. I don't even
Yeah.
remember doing that. That's so insane. Yes. Oh my.
Yeah.
I actually want to go to Chicago with you just because since
Oh,
you've lived there.
that's
I
another place
only
I have to
went.
like I would love to go back
Yeah,
to
I only
Chicago.
went for Lollapalooza, so I went for a weekend, and you don't have time to really enjoy the city. We
Oh,
would
there's
at
so
night.
much there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard that
Yeah.
it's. I mean, you've told me that it's amazing, but I've only heard that it's really really cool, and I didn't get to see it really during the daytime at all.
Yeah, that city. Oh, I left a little piece of my heart there. I
Oh,
definitely did. Yeah. It's a
yeah,
beautiful.
I want to go there. Oh
I
my
would pick
god,
Chicago over New York any day.
really? They're very different, right?
Oh, totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because New York is a lot. I don't know because I haven't really been to either that long, but is New York like busier? Maybe they have more buildings. Like what makes them kind of? I
New
don't know.
York, New York is they're like their own little entities. I don't know. They just have their own character. Like New York is truly the city that never sleeps, like
Of course,
ever.
I
Uh,
know
and Chicago just has that like I don't know. I guess because maybe it's the Midwest, it kind of has that like homey vibe,
for
like
sure.
hometown feel. But it's like it's a place that experiences all four seasons. It's like I don't know. There's just something historic and warming and charming about Chicago that I
I love
didn't
that.
feel when I lived in New York. Like New York
Okay.
is very like hustle and bustle, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's cold. Like
Yeah.
even though people came to me for directions and I had only lived there like 3 months, like it's just there's something that's a little more rigid about New York.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got that vibe too. I wasn't
Yeah.
in New York long, but I when I was there, I was like, whoa, like this is really people are just
Yeah.
walking. They're not looking at you.
Yeah.
They're not giving you eye contact.
Yeah.
They're just like zooming by you. And Chicago, I met actually a lot of really nice people.
Yeah.
And I was only there for like 4 days.
It's like from the East Coast, the more west you come, the more
Yes.
relaxed life gets.
Definite. Oh my God, 100%.
Yeah, because even if you go west to Hawaii from California, it's even more relaxed, you know?
I've heard that over there,
Yeah.
it's like extra chill. Like they drive and the light is
Oh,
green,
yeah.
and then they're like, okay, let's
The,
go.
I mean, the highway speed is like 45, at least on Oahu.
No,
I don't know about the other islands, but
that's wild.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
45 in some parts and then like 55 maybe or 50 maybe in some other parts. Yeah.
What in the world? That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. That's another reason why I love the East Coast. I love it, obviously. Like it's special in its own way.
Yeah.
And the culture, especially in like
Oh, yeah.
South Florida, is wild. So like we have a very different, I don't know, we're just very sabroso. Like I don't know how to even describe it. It's just very different. But the driving here is crazy. Like
I know.
I
I
have,
remember you always saying that.
oh my God, like I'm still not used to it again. It's
Oh,
really scary. Like it's not even scary. Like it's just cutthroat. Like they will kill you and just keep driving. It's really insane. I wish I was joking, but
oh my
I'm
God.
not. Like it's wild. It's the craziest things you see
Oh,
here.
wow.
They're like putting the right signal and they're going left.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. It's very different.
Yes, I remember your snaps when you first moved back.
Yes. You know, I even had friends from Miami saying, oh my God, I do that all the time. And I'm like, stop doing that. Because it's like, what? Oh my
Yeah.
God. They don't use their signals, or if they do, they're using it wrong. They don't
Oh
know what.
gosh.
Over here, it's crazy. It's really like wild. Taj, which is my friend, for those of you that
Yeah.
guys that don't know, he'll send me the craziest videos. And he says, y'all are from a different breed. Like, always from people doing crazy things over here. And I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah.
but the West Coast is very chill. Like the driving, people just have more patience. And I feel like in Chicago I got that vibe. I
Yeah.
didn't really, I wasn't in a car. We walked everywhere because our
Yeah.
Airbnb was right next to where we were supposed to go, like for the show.
Yeah.
But I didn't, even though we were walking, like I felt safe. I felt
Yeah.
like chill. People were nice. I would say hi to you.
Yeah.
In the restaurants, they were really nice too. Like I don't know, I didn't get that like aggressiveness that you get from New York and that you get from
Yeah.
like Miami, those big cities. We definitely have to go back. So that's on
Yes.
my bucket list. It doesn't have to be next year, but anytime. I would love to go to Chicago, and I have to go with you because you
Yes.
know it more than I
Yes.
have no
I would
idea
love that.
about
I
it.
would absolutely love that. That would be so
Yay.
fun.
Yes. So we've talked about body, kind of body intentions. Have we talked really about mind, like mental? We talked about emotional.
Yes. Mental, no, and spiritual,
No.
no.
So do you have any for those?
Um, yeah, actually, I would say yes. Mental, I think for my own sanity, I would say
Mm.
um being a healer, it's really hard for me to stop talking to certain people
Mm.
or because inside I know that like there's a role that I have to play in their life or that they're supposed to play in mine. And so it's really hard for me to accept when it's done and like they're like, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
So me going forward for my own mental sanity is going to be like, okay, if they say no, move on. Like just
Love
accept
that.
it and move on, whether you feel like you have to help them or not. Like at this
I love
point,
that.
they're choosing no, so just walk away.
I love that. That's hard. That's a
Yeah,
really good
I
one.
mean, even just talking about it is hurting me right now.
You're like, no, I don't want to walk away.
Yeah. And spiritually, I really want to focus on implementing like daily meditation again.
Awesome.
In the morning, like the early morning hours,
I love that.
and building up that intuitive and psychic ability through it.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Those are
Yeah. What about
awesome.
you?
So for me, mentally, hmm, for me, mentally, it would be so, especially like being here has it just taught me that because a lot of people don't realize because they don't see me every day that I get really, when I get triggered, I'm just like, ah! I like, oh my God. It's really hard for me to be in spaces where I like what's around me is not aligning with what
Yeah.
I work so hard to do or embody.
Yeah.
So I want to be better at not letting little things bother me and like not taking them personal, even
Mm,
especially when they have nothing to do with me. Like
yeah.
it really it kind of touches on what you just described in a way, because I
Yeah.
feel like when you know you have the ability to help people, you just want to help everybody, especially the people that you love and that you care about. But no, the like not everybody is supposed to be
Yeah.
for you. Like not everybody is supposed to be your client. Not everybody is supposed to be is even supposed to receive the information that you have.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to hold back what
Yeah.
you know, and to
Yeah.
like, because you need consent at the end of the day. Like people need
Yeah.
to say, hey, I'm ready and I want to work with you, or hey,
Yeah.
I really want you to share your information with me because I want to implement it. If they're
Yeah.
not doing that, then you got to keep moving and keep working on yourself.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to do that sometimes with the people that I care about, because I'm like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. This is not good for you. You know, like I want to get involved. And
Yeah.
then when I also sometimes, when I see that they don't do what I want them to do because I know it's best for them, then I'm like, oh, why can't you be this way? But then that takes away from my joy and my peace.
Yes.
So mentally, like I need to really let go of that and stop
Yeah.
like just I'm not everybody's teacher, and I'm
Yeah.
not supposed to be, and I want to sometimes just be, and not.
Rehearse it. What are
Yes.
they teaching you in those moments?
Exactly.
So, like,
Exactly.
this is my lesson. I gotta
Yes.
and maintain my
Literally.
peace, you know?
Literally. That's it. That's exactly
Yeah.
why. That's exactly why I know that's something that I have to work on, and I want that to like be something that I'm constantly being intentional about,
Yeah.
because if not, I will it, get annoyed
Yeah.
so much for things that like
Especially the ones we love the most. Like
yeah.
when we're surrounded by them.
Oh
Like
my god.
I know being here, like that was definitely a lesson for last year. And I finally now am at the point where I'm like, nope, I'm not even gonna say anything because you don't want to hear it.
And I think that's what's hard, right? Is that I've gotten to the point where I don't say anything, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's just like not worth it. But in my brain, I'll still play what I want to say,
Oh.
and I'm like, if you don't need to do this, and I create scenarios in my brain, and I'm exhausted. I'm here like exhausted because I've
Yeah.
basically lived the scenario, even though it's not
Yeah.
happening.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
That's a good. Okay, what about spiritual?
Spiritual. So I've been pretty good with meditation, but I do want to freaking. So I've astral projected consciously, like for a while now. I've talked to you
Yeah.
about, but sometimes, so it's something that if you're sleepy, right, you just fall asleep, so you miss the conscious experience of like laying down, staying awake, and doing it.
Okay.
So you have to. The best way to do it is if you wake up early, like super super early, like 4 o'clock in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and then like walk around, kind of drink some water if you need to, wake up, and then do it, because you've already rested your mind.
Ah.
You get what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
don't do that all the time, and then I get annoyed when I don't ask for protect. But it's like I lay down and I'm like, I'm gonna ask for protect, and I fall asleep. So I would like to really, because it's so powerful. Like I really want everybody to do it. It's so powerful. Astral projection,
Yeah.
like really sitting there and consciously doing it and watching your body fall asleep and feeling the vibrations, the frequencies, like doing that whole process is really, really intense and powerful spiritually. Like it really
Yeah.
just allows you to travel consciously to, like, to not even to travel, to be taken, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you get taken to the frequencies that you're on. So it's very, very cool. But you have to set that, just like meditation, that you set aside some time. I have to let myself rest and then wake up super early to do it. But I'm like, I want to do that. So I want to do that for sure in
Okay, that's
2021.
cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I know how much you love it because you always
Oh,
have stories about it.
I freaking do. I really, really do.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I think that's good. And if
Awesome.
anyone's watching, leave your resolutions or intentions in the comments below. Like we would love to hear what it is that you guys want to work on or have
Yes.
intentions or goals for the coming year.
Yeah, and mentally, physically, emotionally,
Yes. Yes.
spiritually, it really could be anything. It doesn't have to be like materialistic. If it is, then
Exactly.
cool. But it
Yeah.
can really be anything.
Yeah. Anything under the sun.
Yes.
We love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys. Yes. No. This way.
And then my brain starts freaking out.
Oh my god, you're so close though. Wait, come more this way. No. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes!
We did it! End of the year, we made the heart.
We set an intention. We worked on
Yes,
it. And we made it happen.
Yes. We love
Oh
you.
my god!
Have a
Bye,
wonderful
everyone. Happy New Year.